Irene had the biggest salon in Gbagada, Lagos. She ran a one-woman establishment, which always made people wonder how she managed to pull it off. Every customer who ever stepped into her salon always returned and always brought referrals. She makes the neatest braids, one would say. She takes her time to show my hair tender love and care, another would boast. Unlike other hairdressers who indulged in endless gossip, Irene was a quiet woman. Whenever she had a busybody customer who insisted on dragging her into slander, Irene would simply smile and say, it is well. One rainy Wednesday, Irene sat in her salon, sipping a hot cup of tea, scrolling through her phone, and laughing at a folk tale on Enchanted African Tales with Elsa. Suddenly, thud, something banged against the glass doors. Startled, Irene thought a stray animal was trying to break in. She dropped her tea and rushed to check. There stood a beautiful young lady, her clothes and hair drenched from the rain, her body shivering. "Ah! My sister, is everything okay?" "Where is your umbrella?" Irene asked, eyebrows raised in concern. "I didn't know it would rain." The lady, who later introduced herself as Florence, replied, "I need my hair done. A friend directed me here, but the rain caught me halfway, so I just kept going." The two women laughed. Irene quickly made Florence a hot cup of tea and lent her a change of clothes she kept in the salon. Soon, a friendship blossomed. Florence came in every week for a new hairstyle, and Irene looked forward to seeing her favorite customer. Until one day, Florence walked in and met Irene busy with another client. She sat quietly waiting her turn. As soon as the customer left, Florence leaned forward, her voice bubbling with excitement. "My bobo won't carry me travel. We are going to the Maldives for a week. I need a beautiful hallback and a fresh wig installation." Irene chuckled. Florence always had a new boyfriend every week. "Which of your bobo this time?" Irene teased as she began washing her hair. "You don't know this one. He's married, but he promised to leave his wife soon." Irene froze. "A married man?" Dumbstruck, she finally whispered, "Florence, you are a beautiful young lady. A married man shouldn't be your bobo." Florence giggled. "Forget that one. This one is different. He's a good man. His wife, very dirty and ugly. She just stays home eating his money. She doesn't even want to give him children." "Florence!" Irene dragged her name. "Have you met this woman? Or is it just what the man told you?" "He told me, and I believe him." That evening, as Irene cooked dinner, her mind kept drifting. How would the woman of this man feel if she knew? The aroma of fried plantain and stewed chicken filled the kitchen. She moved gracefully, stirring the pots, humming softly to herself. Then, arms wrapped around her waist. "Babe," Wale whispered, kissing her cheek. She laughed, startled. Wale, leave me. I'm cooking the stew we born." He nuzzled her neck. "Forget the stew. You know I don't want appetizers. Not when my main dish is standing right here in my kitchen." "Stop, Joe," she giggled, swatting him playfully with a wooden spoon. But Wale didn't stop. He turned her gently, holding her by the waist, looking straight into her eyes. "Do you know how beautiful you are? Even after all these years, I still thank God that you're mine." Her cheeks warmed. "Food will be ready soon," she whispered, smiling shyly. "I'm not hungry for food," Wale murmured, his lips brushing hers. "I'm hungry for you." They both laughed. The moment tender and romantic. In that instant, Irene thought to herself, "This is my husband, my safe place, my love." At dinner, Wale held her hand across the table, his eyes never leaving hers, and then, almost casually, he dropped the news. "I'll be away for a work trip." "A week?" "A week? Where?" she asked, still smiling. "Nowhere fancy. Just the Maldives." Her smile froze. The Maldives? Her heart skipped. What excuse was Florence's man giving his wife at this very moment, she thought. A week passed. Florence returned from her Maldives trip. Beaming with joy, she showered Irene with gifts, chocolates, dresses, souvenirs. One dress in particular caught Irene's attention. It was an orange dress. Florence laughed as she explained, "I even bought this exact dress for his wife. The ugly woman I told you about. And since I liked it, I bought the second one for you too. That evening, Wale also returned from his work trip. He carried plenty of gifts for Irene. She unwrapped them with a smile until she saw it. The very same orange dress. At that moment, Irene's heart dropped. The puzzle pieces snapped together. Her husband, Awale, was Florence Bobo. The truth cut deep. Irene wasn't just any woman. She had once been a beauty queen, admired across Lagos. But she had given it all up. A crown, a glow, her inheritance. She poured her entire family property into Wale's hands, funding his numerous failed businesses, building him up until he became the man he was. And now, this was her reward, being mocked as the ugly, dirty wife Florence bragged about. Irene clenched the dress in her hand. No, it couldn't be me. Not me. That night, she crawled into bed, burying her face into Wale's chest, desperately pretending it was all a huge coincidence. But Florence was relentless. Some days later, Florence burst into the salon, excitement radiating from her face. She couldn't even sit still. Irene, guess what? Irene looked up. Folding a towel, what is it this time? Florence lifted her left hand dramatically. On her finger glittered a stunning diamond ring. He proposed! She shrieked. My Bobo proposed to me. Can you imagine? He said I'm the woman of his dreams. Her voice rose higher with every word. Her laughter ringing through the salon. Blah, blah, blah was all Irene heard. Irene's hand trembled slightly, but she forced a smile. Florence, you mean he proposed? But what about his wife? Florence waved dismissively. She doesn't count. He told me she's lazy, dirty, doesn't even care about him. Irene, this is my time. Look at this ring. See how it shines. Irene's ears rang. She barely heard the rest. Florence kept talking about the motives, about romantic dinners, about how a good man wanted to start a new life with her. But all Irene could hear was her own heartbeat pounding. Irene saw red, but held her tongue. At home, Wale pretended like nothing had happened. He pampered Irene, showered her with love, took her on dates, whispered how beautiful she was. But Irene began rejecting his advances, making excuses night after night until one evening. Fresh from the salon, freshly bathed, Irene slipped into bed. But her period had just started. Wale leaned in, kissing her softly at first, then more passionately. His hand slid under the sheets. I can't, Irene whispered. I'm on my period. What do you mean you can't? Wale backed. It's been 2 months since I last touched you. You're my wife. When manipulation didn't work, he tried kissing again. Harder, desperate, Irene pushed him off. Furious, Wale dressed quickly and stormed out. Irene didn't need a prophet to know where he was going, straight to Florence. And the next day was Florence's wedding. Irene would be on a glam team. She smiled to herself. The weeks leading to the wedding, Irene had been slipping a secret hair removal serum into Florence's hair products. Slowly, Florence's scalp weakened. Balding patches appeared. Painful bumps and infections spread. Florence thought it was hereditary. She came in more often for wig installation, clinging to Irene, the only stylist she trusted to cover her shame. Meanwhile, Irene played her own quiet game. With the help of her lawyers, she tricked Wale into signing papers that returned all her properties and finalized a hidden divorce. Then came the wedding day. The church was packed. Florence stood radiant in her gown beside her dashing groom Wale. The pastor spoke. If there is anyone here who has a reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak now or forever hold your peace. Silence. Florence smiled. Wale grinned, but suddenly the sprinklers went off. Water poured down on everyone and then Florence screamed. Her scalp was on fire. The water had activated the itching cream Irene had applied. From the pews, Irene stepped forward. She walked calmly down the aisle, reached Florence and with one swift motion, snapped off her wig. Cabs echoed through the church. Florence's bowed infected scalp glistened under the lights. What? Wale shouted. Florence burst into tears. Irene grabbed the mic. This man cheated on me with her. And now, he wants to marry her with my property. Stop, Wale pleaded. But Irene's voice thundered. Don't worry. You can have each other now. I have all my properties and my freedom. She dropped the mic, turned on her heels and walked out. The congregation went wild. What just happened? Thank you so much for watching to this point, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the story as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't. Just leave a comment in the comment section. Let's engage with each other.